Hi, I'm Johnson.
Jeff.
Sienna.
Becky.
Mike.
And Elijah.
Driving a manual car can be extremely frustrating, but once you get the hang of it, it becomes second nature. According to Fox News, now only 10% of vehicles made in North America have manual transmissions, down from the 35% in 1980. This is due to the fact that most Americans don't know how to drive manual cars, and automatic cars are easier to drive. But being able to drive a manual car is an important skill everyone needs to know. How many people know how to drive manual cars? For those of you who don't, I'm speaking to you, and for those of you who do, I'll brush up your memory. When I bought my first manual car, I had no idea how to drive it, but I was set on buying that car. The test drive was, let's just say, a disaster. I don't think anyone has ever stalled a car that many times. After I signed the paperwork to buy the car, I kept thinking to myself, I'm never going to be able to drive this thing on the road with other people, and what did I get myself into? Also, I'm probably the only person who couldn't drive their brand new car home from the dealership. My dad had to do it, and it was pretty embarrassing, but after a week of many stalls, jerky driving, putting the lives of the people in the car with me in danger, I finally got the hang of it. To start off, what is a manual transmission? The Oxford Dictionary says that it's an automotive transmission consisting of interlocking gear wheels and a lever that enables the driver to shift gears manually. Most of you may know a manual car has some different features than an automatic. To shift gears, we'd use this device cleverly named a shifter. Present-day manual transmission commonly use 4 to 6 forward gears and 1 reverse gear. Some have even been built with as few as 2 and as many as 7. But what do the different gears do? According to explainthatstuff.com, gears transmit power from the crankshaft, which is the rotating axle that takes power from the engine to the drive shaft, running under the car that ultimately powers the wheels. Changing gears will increase speed and increase force. So how do you change gears? To change gears, you will need to incorporate the clutch. The clutch is the third pedal in the floorboard to the left of the brake. When you want to switch gears, you will push down the clutch all the way to the floor. According to howacarworks.com, the clutch allows the transmission to be temporarily interrupted while a gear is selected. The clutch offers a smooth transition when shifting gears. Now that you know the basics, you need to know how to incorporate all the different parts to start driving. After a while, you'll become comfortable enough to shift gears without even thinking about it. But at first, it requires a lot of thought and perfect timing. When your car starts to rev, the gear you're in is too low, and if your car starts to make a chugging noise, the gear you're in is too high. You need to shift into a higher gear once you reach 3,000 RPMs or every 15 miles per hour. With all of that in mind, it's time to start the car. To start the car, you'll need to be in neutral, which is when the shifter is in the middle position like this. Next, push the clutch in all the way to the floor, put your foot on the brake, and turn the key. When you let your foot off the clutch, try to feel where the clutch engages and disengages. You will feel a change in pressure. I call this spot the sweet spot. If you let the clutch out too fast, if you don't push the gas pedal at the right time, you will stall. At first it seems very tedious, but after a while you will know exactly when to let out the clutch and push the gas. You should avoid pushing the gas pedal when the clutch is fully engaged. Now to start driving. To start driving from a complete stop, you will need to get into first gear. To do this, you'll need to push the clutch in all the way, shift up into first gear, and as you slowly let out the clutch, push the gas. Hopefully you did it perfectly and didn't stall. This is the hardest part about driving a manual car because it's the easiest to stall. After you get into first gear, you need to shift into second once you reach 3,000 RPMs. You will do the same thing as you did when going to first, remembering as you slowly let out the clutch, slowly push down the gas. You will do this when shifting through all the gears. To slow down, you do something called downshifting, which is going through your gears in reverse order. According to dmv.org, you should not downshift to first gear, but rather when approaching a stop, either keep the clutch depressed and engaged, or put the shifter in neutral. When parking, you'll notice that there's no park gear, like there is in an automatic. To park, come to a complete stop, engage the emergency brake while still holding in the clutch, and turn the car off. For extra safety, for example, if you're parked on a hill, either put the car in first or reverse. Knowing how to drive a manual car is exciting and fulfilling. At first it may seem intimidating, but after some practice it becomes very enjoyable. Anyone can drive a manual car in no time if they are determined.